What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing the spark plug change on the Speed. We're going to do one step colder and we're going to gap them to the proper gapping specs that they're supposed to have on these cars. And then once we're done with all of that, we're going to be repainting my old white rx-8 wheels that I had on my blue 3 a couple years ago, but I took them off. They've been laying around, so we're going to get them all cleaned up and nice and repainted white, and then we'll go from there. So right now we're just letting this cool off a little bit before I take off the intercooler from the intercooler hosing and then the bypass valve. Other than that, it's pretty easy. It's just two clamps, or not clamps, I'm sorry, bolts are here, right here. There's another one in the back, and you just remove it and it pops right off. So that way we can get to the spark plugs. So we're just getting the brush, kind of going over everything. It doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's getting little crevices and stuff. Alright, so we got them nice and rinsed off with the brush. I wiped them down with a damp rag. Now we're just going to let them bake in the sun so they can get nice and dry. And then we'll come back and start sanding it down with the bristle pad. Looks like what my dog is going to help me out today with. Oh, maybe not. All right, so we're gonna use these bristle pads. We're gonna scuff down all these wheels. I already did the first one, just a light sand real quick. I believe this is maybe a little bit finer than a 320. I want to say 400 maybe. That's what it feels like. But yeah, we're just gonna sand it down a little bit, just try to get some scuff marks and maybe some rough edges off. And then after that, we'll just wipe it off. All right, everything's all bristled, everything's wiped off with the acetone. Now I'm gonna wait just like 2 minutes, drink a little bit of water, and then we'll add our first coat. So stay tuned. So I got the first coat of white paint on the first wheel, but already you can tell like it's looking really good. So we're letting the wheels dry. All right, we're gonna get started on the spark plugs. So for the 2007 Mazdaspeed 3, I recommend, everybody actually recommends getting the NGK spark plugs, Iridium IX. So these are pretty much recommended for the Mazdaspeeds. And when I got these spark plugs, the gap was actually, let's see if it focuses here. The gap was actually 0.040. That's way too big of a gap to be putting on these cars. You want it down to at least a 0.028. So we got them down to right around there, 0.028 or 0.029. But yeah, we went ahead and did all that already off camera. So you're gonna want to take this bolt off, and this bolt off. And you're gonna want to ratchet with the 12mm deep socket and an extension. Doesn't matter, it could be the lowest extension. But we're gonna go ahead and take these off and we'll be right back. All right, so once those are removed, you're gonna worry about the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna worry about the 10mm bolts that are on the there's 2 on the bypass valve. There's one on going to the throttle body hose, and then there's another one on the intercooled hose. And then after that, you're gonna get some needle nose pliers, and you're just gonna unloosen that so you can pop this whole thing off. Also, you're probably gonna want an extended magnet, because you probably are gonna drop a couple of these bolts in the under tray, unless you don't have the under tray and that thing's just wide open. But for this case, definitely gonna need it because I already dropped 2. Okay, intercooler is off. It's sitting right over there on the trash. We're not gonna throw it away. It is not trash. We gotta put it back on the car for it to work. But we're gonna clean up in here. I have some degreaser rag, so I'm gonna try to clean it up a little bit before I start getting all technical with it. Bueno, Now that you have everything where you need it and everything's ready to get taken off, you're gonna start by unplugging these from the coil pack. Just be kind of gentle with them. Make sure you don't be too rough with them or else you could break and damage these. And which reminds me, I had to replace mine on the Mazda 3 because literally they don't even clamp in. They just kind of, the wire comes in and out. That's how I take them off. Oh, all right, so take all these off. And now you're ready to take off the coils. So with the coils, you have a 8mm socket for these 4 bolts right here. And then after that, they should just slide right on out. So what I like to do before I take these out is I like to label them 1 through 4 so that way you don't mix them up and put them in a different cylinder. Because if you do that, you'll end up misfiring and causing all sorts of problems. All right, for these, I'm using a 16mm deep socket, and you're gonna wanna go counterclockwise on these. All right, so once you pull them all the way out, you're just gonna wanna inspect it. As you can tell, this one's really burnt, and it has a humongous gap compared to this. I gapped this one right here, and this is, let's see here. This is literally almost about 47. That's ridiculous. And then with these, they're right at 28 where you kind of want them to be. So yeah, this definitely needed new spark plugs. So once you have all your spark plugs taken out, you're just gonna want to get your new spark plugs. These are the same ones that just came out, but those are no good. These are gapped correctly. And for this, I'm using the magnet on the top of the electrode, not the electrode, the other part of it, where the coil pad goes. And I'm just gonna carefully slide it in there and just set it for now, and do that for the next 3, and then I'll tighten them down. All right, so once you're done tightening up everything, make sure actually to check your coils. I know this is a little bit gunked up right here. Probably gonna have to change my coil packs pretty soon. But yeah, inspect your coil packs, guys, before you do your spark plugs. Make sure it's not leaking or anything wrong with it, rotting anywhere, so that way you don't have to mess with it again, take everything back off. Might as well do it all at once. But yeah, make sure you check your coil packs and then just slide everything right back in. So once you have all your coils in, what I did was I started from the intercool piping first, pushed down on that, and then I pushed the intercooler on the throttle body piping, and then attached the bypass valve, and then just tightened all these back down. Also, by the way, guys, you really don't need needle nose pliers to get rid of this hose. You don't have to unclamp this. I just unclamped it from the throttle body piping, and it just moved to the side, so it should be all right there. But other than that, we're gonna start her up, and hopefully something doesn't fly through the block. All right, she runs a lot better than before. So we're on our way actually to the tire shop, and we have all the wheels loaded up in the back and shit. So we're gonna see how this bitch looks. It's gonna look clean. I can't wait. So here we go. New wheels are getting put on right now. Old ones are gonna probably stay at home. If you live in San Antonio and want some stock Mazdaspeed 3 rims, let me know. 80 bucks and they're yours. Oof, these new wheels look a lot better. I'm cutting it a little bit close right here with the big brakes, but they're not rubbing, so we should be good. So once he's done, we'll get a full wrap around of the car and see how she looks. Okay, Daddy likes. Looks really good, other than a couple oil stains on the wheels, but a little bit wider to fill out the back. The front still kind of looks the same, but it's all good. But just something temporary for now. This damn car is getting on my Mazda 3 hand-me-downs and hiding behind the tree. But yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much gonna do it. We got the new wheels on, new wheels. We got the spark plugs done. I actually went to go to the muffler shop earlier and made the car a little bit louder. I don't know if I could tell or not. Make sure y'all hit that bell to stay updated on videos, especially with the speed. We're gonna be having a lot more parts coming in pretty soon. We just gotta stick with it. But thank y'all for sticking around. We'll see y'all later.